السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. أعوذ بالله السميع العليم من الشيطان اللعين الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. الحمد لله رب العالمين والصلاة والسلام على سيدنا ونبينا ومولانا أبي القاسم محمد وآله الطيبين الطاهرين المعصومين، ولعنة الله على أعدائهم أجمعين من الآن إلى يوم الدين. أما بعد، فقد قال الله في كتابه الكريم: بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. إنما المؤمنون إخوة فأصلحوا بين أخويكم واتقوا الله لعلكم ترحمون. صلوات. To pursue our discussion on the rights of community members. So one of the rights that Imam Zainul Abidin alayhi salam has mentioned, and we are discussing that particular right, is to make peace and reconciliation among two brothers in faith. The people in your community, if they have any dispute, you should try to settle that dispute among them. And this is one of the rights of your community members. You cannot say, I have nothing to do with this. This is not my job, this is not my business. You cannot say this. You need to try to settle that dispute. And it is called Islah. And this was the job of all the prophets of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. They came in this world, first of all, to establish justice and peace, and also to provide a peaceful environment to their followers especially. And this is what all means. Islam is what all about. Islam, a religion of peace. So we discussed different aspects of this issue. Today, I would like to discuss one more very important point regarding the Islah, making peace. So we emphasized a lot on this important issue, that yes, we have to be involved in the community and try to make peace among people who have any kind of differences among themselves, bring a friendship among them, and an environment of peace and friendship and brotherhood. But the challenge sometimes we face in doing this, that when we see both sides or one of them are stubborn and they don't want to listen to anybody, this makes it very hard for somebody to be any kind of peacemaker, arbitrator. Is hard. Why? Because both should listen to this arbitrator. Both should listen to this person who is trying to bring them together. But if any of them refuses that, then of course this is not going to happen. But the person who is ready to make peace, he will get the reward for that, and he will be appreciated for that. And especially if he is the one who was subject to wrongdoing of somebody. Although most of the times both parties think that we were wronged. We were wronged and the other person was wrong. So In this situation, there are two ways to settle the dispute. One is to come in between these two individuals or two groups as a judge, coming to give your judgment and say that he is right and he is wrong. This is one way of doing it. The other way of doing it is, no, I'm not the one who is going to come and say who is right, who is wrong. Just forget everything, whatever happened. Forgive and forget, and just be friends and forgive one another. No issues should come which happened in the past. This is kind of arbitration. In arbitration, the arbitrator is not a judge. He is just trying to convince him, and bring them on one table and let them talk to one another and then shake hand and just forget everything. So these are two situations. What Islam says about these two, which one you should choose to do that? This is something very important, and we are now entering into a very delicate discussion on this issue of Islah. So in arbitration, you don't have to point out that who was wrong and who was wronged. But in judgment, you have to do it. That's why when anything goes to the judge in the court, so the judge does not keep the issues in between. He just gives his verdict and he says, you are wrong and you will be fined for that and you will be punished for that, or whatever he says. So this is the verdict. He says, you are wrong and you are right. Or he says, okay, you have to do this and you have to do this. And both have to listen to it. In arbitration, no. The person who is in between, as an arbitrator, he's trying to convince him that it's fine, it's okay, whatever happened, just forgive him, and it's fine, it's okay, whatever happened, you also forgive him. So Islamic point of view on these two issues are very clear. Both are possible. It depends on the situation. If it is not the issue of haqq and batil, right and wrong, then try to enter into the disputes as arbitrator rather than as judge. It is more recommended, it's better way to settle the disputes. If it is not the issue, remember, of right and wrong, haqq and batil, and it is not going to affect the community if you keep silent about making your clear decision that who is right and who is wrong. But if it is not that issue, and most of the issues within the community fall into this category, which are not issues of haqq or batil. For example, the issues in the family between husband and wife, or two friends, or with neighbors. It's not something that if you don't clearly mention who is right and who is wrong is going to be something problematic. And especially is going to affect the community negatively. In such issue, try to bring them together. Yes, whenever you, as an advice, as a nasiha, you can say, no, this here, you're not supposed to say this, you're not supposed to do this. No, next time, if this happens, you should do this. As an advisor, as a person who want to just settle the issues peacefully, with no much discussion and arguments. This can happen, and this happened in the future, and we see this in the Sirat of Ahlul Bayt alayhimu salatu wassalam. On the other hand, there is another issue of right and wrong. There, you cannot remain in between. You have to be clear, either here or here. Either you have to said clearly that this is right and this is wrong, and not just this, you have to remain with right. And you have to leave and be against the wrong. So when this situation comes, so let me give you an example of the first situation, first scenario. You know the history, there are so many examples. I give you just one simple example from the Sirat of Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. And this story belongs to his lifetime when he did not yet proclaimed his prophethood. He did not say, I'm a prophet. But he was respected in the community. He was known as Sadiq and Amin, truthful and trustworthy. People would respect him. And one day, what happened that Quraysh, they had a tribal dispute on one issue which was very important for all of them. And the dispute was what? After some construction in Kaaba, Baytullah, Allah's house, which was respected by those mushrikeen and infidels at the time also, Quraysh, the issue of replacing Hajar al-Aswad or placing the Hajar al-Aswad back to its place originally. This dispute came. Who will do it? Because this was a kind of an honor, a big honor, a huge thing for somebody. So at that time, any clan would be proud that we were the people who put Hajar al-Aswad, that black stone, that very revered black stone, we put it in its place back. We are the people. They and their children and their progeny would just mention it as their pride for that. So dispute came that who will do it. And in the end, they even took their swords out. Okay, now whoever is more powerful, he will do it. The fight was about to start on this dispute. Suddenly, one of those people who was an old man and who had good wisdom, he came forward and said, wait a minute, why are you fighting on this issue? I know everybody wants to seek this honor, but I have an idea. He said, what is the idea? He said, let's wait here. Everybody, stop. Let's agree on one issue. That whoever enters first, after what we decide today, now, whoever enters first, let's make him our arbitrator, and he will decide what to do and who will put this back. Let's let him do it. And all of us should agree on his judgment. It is kind of Qur'an, kind of, just a lottery in today's terminology. So we'll see that whoever gets this chance, so he is lucky and he will take it, and that's it. The dispute is over. Everybody agreed on this. And everybody was standing, waiting for somebody to enter the Kaaba, the masjid, and suddenly they saw that Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam is coming. And I said this was before Islam. It was before Islam. And everybody saw him coming. They were happy. And everyone was satisfied even before he says something. Why? Because everybody knew. And said, wow, look, he is coming. Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. Now everybody was sure that whatever he says is going to be right and true and based on justice and fairness, we have no problem with his judgment. Because he is Sadiq and Amin. He is the person who is trustworthy. We trust him. He's truthful. Whatever he says is true. He's not going to take anybody's side against somebody. He will be fair. Everyone was happy. Now, tell me, what a hard job was there for the Prophet? What should he supposed to do? What's a person who all people are putting their trust on him in such a dispute that was almost going to end up with a bloodshed? A big responsibility on him now. What he should do? So he's coming to settle down a dispute among those tribes. What did he do? Okay, so our question is, should we always be clear about, oh, you are right, you are wrong? Or many times we can just settle the disputes without entering into that discussion. So the Prophet came and the people put the issue in front of him and said, okay, fine, it is okay, I will do it for you. And everybody will be happy, I know. If it were the issue of right and wrong, the Prophet would deal it in a different way. It was a dispute. He settled that dispute this way. He was wearing his abba. He spread his abba on the ground. And then asked these all people to come, one from each clan. One from each clan, and put this Hajar Aswad, this black stone, on his abba, not on its place. On this abba. So each person from each clan came all together, lifted this, and put it on his abba. Then he said, okay, now everybody take a corner of the abba and lift it all together, one person from each clan, and bring it to that place. Everybody brought this to that place. Then he said, okay, now stop. He took the stone and put it back on its place. Look. Subhanallah. Everyone was happy. Nobody said, oh, you are from Bani Hashim. You put it ultimately in the end. No. Look, the trust to him. One thing that we learn from this, many things we learn. One of those things is that the person who comes in between as arbitrator, he should be trustworthy. To this extent that when he did it, he did something that they were fighting for, all of them. But they had no problem when he did it himself and shared that honor with everybody. But original honor went to himself. But see, other thing we learn from this, that he did not clearly say that, okay, oh, you are right, you have this right to put it back. No, these people, they serve so much and they always are here for anything. They have good, more good deeds. You do it. You do it. No, he didn't say you do. He said, come, everybody, let's all together do it. So this is one way of settling the disputes. As I said, most of the disputes that we have is of this kind. We can go and elaborate more, but I think this is enough. Now, let's go to that second category of settling disputes. That one is very hard. Although this one is also very hard to convince everybody. First of all, the person who is in between, who is trying to bring them together, he should be trustworthy, he should be truthful, he should have a good prestige. and respect among the parties. So, what will happen if the issue is the issue of right and wrong? Our issues are not issues of haqq and batil. Okay, you have to say he is haqq, he is batil. If you don't say this, the community will collapse. This is not the issue. These are issues, come and go. If you forgive and forget, you will enjoy, the other party will enjoy, the entire community will enjoy the peace. But there are issues. No, you have to be clear about it. I know we have little time left, but I will continue this next week, but giving you a little hint that what we are going to discuss. So you can come and you can even, you will have time to go and study that. Very, very important point. What is it? So the ayat I recited from Surah Al-Hujurat, ayat number 10. This was the ayat that I recited in the beginning. And now I'm going to translate it. This ayat says, إِنَّمَا الْمُؤْمِنُونَ إِخْوَةٌ. Mu'mineen, the believers, are brothers. This is very special brotherhood that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has created through Iman. This brotherhood and this relationship is stronger than physical relationship that you have, biological relationship and brotherhood you have with somebody. This is a stronger tie. Why? Because Iman. Share the same faith, same belief. You believe in Allah. You are selfless in your relationship. The only criterion you have is love of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So this is very strong relationship. Mu'mineen are brothers. فَأَصْلِحُوا بَيْنَ أَخَوَيْكُمْ. Ikhwa is plural. Akhaway is tathniya. So now bring peace among your two brothers. You are brothers. This is plural, jama'. In Arabic, for two, there is another word which is used, another sigha. We use it, it's called tathniya, for dual, which we don't have it in English or Urdu. Two, for two, akhawaykum. It means there are two people or two parties, two groups. If they have any conflict, aslihu. What is your job as a mu'min? Since you are part of this brotherhood, for aslihu. Your job is that you should bring them together, make reconciliation, make peace, bring the friendship and brotherhood back again. Rectify this broken relationship. This is your job. You're going to say, I don't care. فَأَصْلِحُ. This order from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala for you. If you are part of this ummah, if you are part of this nation, if you are part of this community, then you have to do this. Now, how to do this? فَأَصْلِحُوا بَيْنَ أَخَوَيْكُمْ وَاتَّقُوا اللَّهِ. Now, this is our responsibility, but the delicate issue coming there is that these two people who have any dispute or conflict, if I enter and come in between, what should I do? Should I settle the issue as the Prophet has done there? Or should I be a judge, not arbitrator, and say, no, you are right and you are wrong? What should I do? So in the beginning, you try not to enter in the judgments. Try to bring them together, because there are some reasons why there should be some reasons, of course, that why they have this dispute, and they might forget everything. But it says, وَاتَّقُوا اللَّهِ, you should fear Allah in any case, in whatever situation. When you're doing this islah, reconciliation, ittaqullah, you have to fear Allah. Means, again, one more thing, there are, inshallah, if we got chance, we'll go through those conditions of arbitrator. Because the other day, one of the youth asked me, how do you know the person who is coming as a judge or arbitrator, he is right himself and he is trustworthy? He might be himself, which happens in the politics you see in this world. They come, they create a dispute, and then they come as peacemakers. They are the troublemakers. They originally created this trouble. Now they are coming as peacemakers. So how do you know somebody who is he's a really peacemaker or troublemaker? So Quran makes it clear. It says, ittaqullah. The person who is coming as peacemaker or arbitrator or a judge, he should be muttaqi, should have taqwa, piety. He should be a truthful person, trustworthy person. Otherwise, if you bring politics there, if you bring your own interest there, and you say, I am first, then when you are first, then you cannot be a judge. You will think, and you will say, and you will do whatever is good for you, not for them. So, ittaqullah. لَعَلَّكُمْ تُرْحَمُونَ. When you bring these two together, groups or individuals, turhamun, then you will be subject to mercy of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. All of you. Look, turhamun, la'allakum, ukhwa, again, it's plural, not tathniya. When these two people come together and they become friends again, the benefits will not confine to them, will not remain to them only. لَعَلَّكُمْ تُرْحَمُونَ. All of you will benefit from friendship of these two individuals who had some dispute, and you settled that dispute. I will stop here. Read the ayat before this. And inshallah we'll discuss that ayat, and we'll discuss that, okay. And the ayat before this, Quran is saying, look, when you try to settle a dispute, do islah, you will reach to a point when you have to be on one side. You have to be on one side. This side, I'm on this side, that's it. And start fighting against the other side. You were an arbitrator, you were somebody who is peacemaker, and suddenly you became one side, part of the conflict. Yes, you have to be. How? So I'm leaving this in such a suspense, but it is not suspense for the people who know Islam. Go and read this ayat, and we'll know where and when we should take this stand. And it is very important to know. Inshallah, we'll